Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see you. We are back again. Happy 4th of July to those in the U.S. or the U.S. territories. It's going to be a long night around here because my dogs are all scared to death of all the fireworks. So all my neighbors, which are relatives, will be setting them off, I'm sure. They were last night. It was already bad enough. And so anyway, I'm not a huge fan. I don't have the best of memories of them. I think they're beautiful. Let's get that straight. But I grew up in California, and it seemed like every single time that they did a big fireworks display, that there was some kind of big fire, and a lot of people lost their homes and everything else. And so I just kind of has a bad taste to it for me. So anyway, yeah, we are here. I'm going to kind of be winging it. I might have to get one of my mods to come on and read if I can't see some of the stuff. As you know, a lot of you anyway, I have really bad cataracts for somebody that's just 59 years old, and I'm supposed to be having surgery on those, but I'm waiting. I have scans on Monday to see if the cancer has grown or anything, because I don't want to go have surgery if I'm going to have to go have chemo, because the chemo damages my eyes, which is a lot of why they're so bad. So it doesn't make sense to go have surgery if I'm going to have chemo, and then it just damages them again, and then I have to have surgery again. So I'm trying to, you know, weigh my options here, and it's just a few more days to wait. So anyway, there is that. Plus, I have Hashimoto's, which my lovely troll posted a nice picture and said that, did I say Hashimoto's or Quasimodo's? So, that was lovely. But that's how I was feeling this morning when I woke up, is what made me think of that. I was feeling more like Quasimodo, so that's why I had to cancel my show about the 4th of July, all the cool trivia about that. And I think I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. We weren't planning to go live tomorrow, but I think I'm going to try to do it because it's a kind of cute little show. So be watching for that. And it obviously still fits even tomorrow. It'll be the weekend, right? So, but we're here tonight. But anyway, my Hashimoto's makes my eyes even worse. So on days when I'm having a flare, there's that to contend with too. So anyway, I do appreciate you. But tonight I am going to try to get through it. I think I can see everything I need to see. Sorry I'm running late. I had everything set up set up on the computer, and that must have been something I dreamed, because when I came in here and sat down, it wasn't even brought over to the computer. It was still in my photos and everything for on my iPad. So so I was frantically about 10 minutes ago driving myself crazy trying to get everything brought over and labeled. And anyway, there's not a whole lot that I'm going to have to bring up tonight. I think just one set will work, and then I do have some I've got them all loaded once, and then I will load some more after it's over, just that's got some links that I want to share with you. But I'm also going to put those links in the community page, which just says post now. So anyway, those will be there too. So it should go fairly, I hope, fairly simple. So I'm going to check in with the chat. I see we have a few people here already. I understand this weekend might be, we may get more on the replay just for the fact that people are out celebrating, especially in the US. So anyway, I just want to say hi to everybody that is here. Heat My Shorts is here. He's so funny, and I don't know, I just love him. He's been quite the addition to our mod chat, y'all. He's been quite the addition. That's right. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, he's saying, don't forget to give that like button a little hug on your way in. I agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lori Driscoll says, okay, saw the notice, popped in. Hello, Heat My Shorts, made a little bean and cheese tortilla. Okay, too. Sitting in the AC, hanging out. That sounds pretty good. We have some fresh salsa that I think I'm going to have after we get off of here. Maybe a little, I don't know, little chicken tortilla, little chicken tacos, I mean. So something easy. We usually grill and everything, but we're just not feeling it. Just absolutely not feeling it. So thank you, Mischief, for putting that up. That said we'll be starting just a little bit late. She is in the back office. I just looked to make sure. She'll be starring those comments and questions. So y'all please put C's or Q's or something to kind of get her attention. That way it's not just when y'all are, chit-chatting with each other. We don't need to get in on your business. So, which I will anyway, but anyway, Mare, hello. Good to see you. Okay. I'm just saying calm. I was a little bit freaked out, y'all. I was like, oh my God. So Mare says she has horrible eyesight. I do too. And I really had good eyes until all the chemo. I barely needed even reading glasses, and that was barely like just for a little bit of help if my eyes got tired because I was doing the newspaper. So I was on the computer for hours and hours a day. And so, anyway, sometimes my eyes would get tired, but it wasn't really that I couldn't see. Now I can't see nothing. I'm like blind. These are reading glasses, and they're like the +4, which is the strongest. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't have anywhere to go from here. I think you can get like in specialty things or something, you may be able to get even higher, but I don't know. I can't stand it. Now I don't need that for just like looking around. I need something, but up here I can't see anything, and it's because when I start concentrating, a lot of it is that those cataracts just move in front of my eyes and I can't see them. So, yeah. Yeah, me too, Vernon. I'm really hoping. They said that it's always going to be in my body, but as long as it doesn't grow, if it's just kind of dormant, which is what they're saying, with me being in remission, that what is there is so microscopic that they can't see it. But if they start seeing it, then back to chemo I go, I guess, which I'll find out Monday. So, which I have anxiety too, y'all. Anxiety is a thing. I'm telling you. I I have already been just a basket case, just crying over every little thing and not able to sleep and the whole bit, just worrying about these stupid scans. I've got two, a bone scan and then a CT scan from my head to my feet, just everything basically. I think it's actually to my hips or below my hips, like my thighs. So, Renee Mora, good to see you. Absolutely. Vernon says, I no longer watch Reese. She keeps saying that Marilyn mentions Reese's son's name. She doesn't. That's a lie. It's a Reese lie. Marilyn, I don't think has ever on air said Reese's son's name. She's said Reese's son, that kind of thing, but not his name. It's a lie. She just lies, and I'm glad that you're checking that out because a lot of people don't, and so they just believe her, and they're so scared to go look themselves because she said that if she finds out that people from her channel are over on Marilyn's or my channel, then she'll block them from hers. And they're so scared of being blocked. I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be scared. I want to go over there and just like announce my presence. Oh, wow. Mary says she's been wearing glasses since she was 10. Wow. Yeah, I just don't. Yes, Vernon, you can. You can live in remission for many years, and that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I'm 59 and I could live well into my 80s or 90s in remission. I mean, just a normal life as if I didn't have it. But it's not, yeah, but it's not common. Let's just put it that way. It's not common, and the breast cancer that I have is an aggressive kind. So, but frogs first, yeah. Yeah, I've been absolutely crazy about frogs lately, y'all. Just so some of you know, I've been like everything I've been wanting. I've bought like 3 t-shirts lately that have frogs on them. I actually had one of my viewers that sent me a little frog prince purse charm or keychain. It's a purse charm, but you could use it for a keychain. Anyway, it's a little frog with a crown on it, and it has little lips next to it. So, I love the frog prince whole thing anyway, but yeah, lately I have like a little goth frog on a shirt. It's just I don't know. I just yes, he resays his name all the time, multiple times a video. Yeah, she might have said it once, but that's been months and months and months ago. I said it once, just to be honest. I mean, I did too. But that was months ago. I mean, maybe a year. I don't know. It's been a long time. Frogs are awesome. I know. Yep. Turtles too. I like turtles too. Oh, Darcy gets rechecked the 8th. See, we're right there, right? Right together. What's mine, the 7th? Wow. We have this thing called My Chart, and so usually by the time I get home from my scans, I already know the results. In fact, I generally know the results before my doctor does because it goes on my chart and she can look at it, but she's going to usually look at the end of the day when she's finishing out all of her stuff. And that I'm sitting there checking it all the way home to see what those results say, which is great when the results are good, not as fun when they're not. And I've had both. I've had both good and bad pop ups. So he likes frogs. Yeah, ribbit, ribbit. Hey, Doug, good to see you. Aw, 59 is better than 70, according to Reese. Yeah. She supposedly likes older people, then why does she push your buttons with saying that you're 70? I don't know. If I was, I would look pretty damn good for 70. I look all right for 59. I mean, nothing to write home about, but I look all right. But if I was 70, I would be thinking that that was like pretty damn good. Maybe I should go with it. Like, I'm 70, y'all. Yeah. You have that too, Darcy's? You have oh, I'm addicted to that thing because I love to know my results. I'm a nosy person. I wanna know. and I don't have any patience. So I don't have any patience to wait till the doctor calls me back a day or 2 or a week later. I mean, it's like, if they call back really fast that it's not good news. So I'd rather just know. I would just rather know, and then I will do when I find out that it's bad. I'm not saying that if I find out this time, I mean in the past when I have found out that it was bad. Gosh, borrowing trouble here. I would just go, and as soon as I knew it was bad, I would just go and leave her a message and be like, I'm expecting a call. Do I need to just call and make an appointment? Or I would just make one and say I've already made an appointment. Uh, oh, wow. Doug says, Mischief, I have all next week off of doing lives. I'm excited. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Vernon. You look better than Tommy, and he's 55. Well, thank you. Hey, MD explains. Good to see you. You were mentally ill before. There's a lot of us that have mental illnesses, and we're going to go over that tonight. I actually have a list of all the mental illnesses. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be one forgotten. Thank you, Heath. That's sweet. Um, but I tried to find all of them that I could. You're recovered. Good. Indeed, that's great. No, I'm in treatment. Let's put it that way. I have anxiety medicine that I have to take and depression medicine that I have to take. Mhm. Oh, yeah, you were believing that people were plotting to hurt you? That's sad. Another question from Vernon. He has got some good questions, y'all. I'm always excited. Do you believe that Tommy is losing his memory? No. I don't. I really don't. Sorry. And let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I do. I understand the believing that people around you are very bad and they really want to do bad stuff with you. That's not unusual, sadly. I'm sorry that you went through that, and I'm glad that you're recovering now. I really am. So I hope you come back and visit with us. So, yeah, tonight we're going to talk about the myths of mental illness, and I'm just going to show them on the screen and go down through them and hopefully be able to read them. And we're going to talk a little bit about, yeah, yeah, maybe he is losing his memory, not the reason he says. You might be right, Mischief. Oh, thank you, MD. Thank you. You look so happy and energetic and positive. I generally am. I really am. Yeah, I'm from the US. Yeah. I'm from Oklahoma, actually. So, yeah, he may be losing his memory because of drugs, but I don't think that he's got whatever that is that I don't know. We can't even find any proof that he was ever a skier. So, you would think that what I think about it is, and I'm only going to say this, and then I'm going to go on with the live, but I think he is a little mentally ill, so it does fit, I guess. Aw, I'm a force to be reckoned with. I hope. But anyway, I think that if Tommy was truly the skier that he claims he was, that caused the brain damage that he claims that he has when it's convenient, we'd be seeing proof. He would be showing trophies, he would be showing pictures, he would be showing articles. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna pull a couple of things up onto the screen and see what we've got. Take this down so I can see all of it. Okay, so myth. Mental illness isn't real. It's a mindset. The truth is, now don't get confused where it says truth. They're not saying that's true. They're saying the truth is really that mental illnesses are real medical conditions involving brain chemistry, trauma, and environment. You can't just think positive. out of clinical depression or PTSD. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try to think positively, but it's not going to fix everything. So, myth number 2. Therapy is only for people who are weak or broken. Now, I do want to say that as we go through these, if something just hits you that you want to say about it, please do. But put those C's or Q's or something because, we want to talk about it. And you might even put what number it is so we can kind of know where we're at. Because otherwise, I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know where we're at. Okay. So, anyway, therapy is only for people who are weak or broken. But the truth is, therapy is for people who want to heal, grow, and cope better. Strength is asking for help when you need it, not pretending that everything is fine. That is absolutely true. And you don't even have to be, and I don't mean this ugly, I swear I don't, but you don't have to be struggling with an actual mental illness for therapy to benefit you. I think that just about anybody could benefit from therapy. And I'm not a doctor. You all know that. I'm like James Collins says, I'm a carapist, not a therapist. So, yeah, I don't see anybody that it couldn't help. We all could use that person that's completely unaffected by those things that affect us, those little things that make us happy, that make us sad, that make us mad, whatever. And I think having a therapist is just I think it would be wonderful for anybody. Number 3, people with mental illnesses are dangerous. They used to think that a lot, didn't they? But the truth is, the vast majority of people with mental illnesses are more likely to be victims of violence than be perpetrators of violence. That is just so sad. But this myth does fuel stigma and discrimination. And it just, I don't know, I'm kind of almost speechless at that one. Every time I read it, I'm just like, oh, I just can't believe that. But it is true. The vast majority of people with mental illness are much more likely to be victims than perpetrators. So, number 4, kids can't have mental health problems. They'll grow out of it. Ugh, that is such a dangerous, dangerous myth. It truly is. The truth is, children and teens can absolutely struggle with anxiety, depression, OCD, trauma, and more. Early intervention saves lives and builds resilience. Not to mention, there, and we're going to go over the list. When you see the list, there is a lot, including autism, that children and teens absolutely suffer with, that they're not just going to grow out of. That's just such a dangerous stance to take on something. It's just it's no more stupid or no less stupid, I'm sorry, than saying that a child with childhood cancer would outgrow cancer. No, they won't. You've got to go in there and get rid of it. They're not just going to outgrow it. If that was the case, you would never see these beautiful babies and kids and teens with their little bald heads and everything because they were going through chemo. If they were just going to grow out of it, they wouldn't bother. And it's the same with mental illness. They don't just grow out of it, they actually grow into it. It actually can get worse, and especially untreated. Number 5, taking medication means you've failed. That's not true either. The truth is, taking meds for mental health is no different than taking insulin for diabetes. It's not failure, it's care, it's treatment. I'm on 2 medications, one for depression, one for anxiety. I'm also on medications where I have a blood thinner that I have to take because I've had 3 blood clots in the last year and a half, dangerously large blood clots. I'm trying to think. I have medication that I take for restless leg. It's no different. It's all things that I take that I'm treating, and mental health is healthcare. We've got to stop thinking it's not the same. It is absolutely the same. Our brain is part of our body. So, Okay, let's see here. We're going to add this one. Number 6, you can always tell when someone's struggling. But the truth is, many people mask their pain. High functioning anxiety, depression, and even suicidal ideation often go unnoticed. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow when we talk about Michaela Raines, who is a animal rescuer, fox specifically, and she took her life the 20th of June because of online bullies. Now, I'm sure that her husband knew that she was struggling, but I'm sure he didn't know to the extent that she was struggling. So, absolutely, that's false. You can't always tell when someone's struggling, or at least to the extent. Even those closest to us have absolutely no idea sometimes. I have a very dear friend from high school that her daughter committed suicide. She's devastated by it still. She knew her daughter was struggling to an extent, but she did not know fully. There's a young boy, or was, in the town where I used to have the newspaper. He was being bullied in school and online by the same bullies that were bullying him at school. Nobody knew. He seemed really happy. Everybody thought that he was this happy kid. So when he killed himself, nobody at first believed that it was suicide because he seemed fine. But it was clearly suicide. His parents knew who found him, and he had a note and the whole bit. But yeah, nobody on the outside knew that he was struggling. Number 7, mental illness is a choice or a moral failing. No. The truth is, no one chooses to be mentally ill. It's not laziness, it's not weakness, it's not bad character. It's a condition, and it is treatable. And accepting that you have it and admitting that you have it, just like so many other things, is the first step. Just like with addiction, it's the absolute first step. You have to admit that you're having problems, admit it to yourself, and then seek help. Number 8, talking about suicide makes people more likely to do it. That's not right either. The truth is, talking about suicide reduces the risk by helping people feel seen, feel supported, and safe. Silence is what kills. And sadly, even whenever you're working your hardest to make them see, to make them see, ugh, I can't talk, feel seen and supported and safe, sometimes it's still not enough. It's just sometimes not enough. The voices that they hear in their head, the feelings that they feel in their gut, you know, sometimes they just overrule anything that anyone says. Number 9, once you get better, you're cured forever. That's not true either. The truth is, mental health is a journey, not a destination. People may have setbacks or relapses, and that's normal. You got to keep at it. You just think, you know, this is just something for the rest of my life. Like taking a blood pressure medicine, or, vitamins or whatever, something that you do all the time from now on. And that's just if it's medicine. If you're going to therapy and stuff, that might be something that you have to do even on a just maintenance, even if you don't have to go as often as you were whenever you were, really in the height of it. You probably still need some maintenance on that, just a check in. And number 10, you have to hit rock bottom to get help. No, don't do that. Do not wait. The truth is, you don't have to wait until you're broken. The best time to ask for help is the moment that you realize you need it. No matter how functional you are, no matter how much you can make it look like you're doing great in life. No. The minute that you realize that you need help, you need to get it. So that's the 10 myths that we're going to talk about tonight. Um, Now I want to move on to some types of mental illness because I was absolutely blown away whenever I started looking into this and just like realized how many types there are. And again, I may have missed some. Absolutely. So don't shoot me if I'm missing something because I really did try, but I think you're going to be just as shocked as I am. I really do. So, and these are ones that are listed in the DSM-5-TR mental health disorders. Okay. So this is by category. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know what a lot of these even mean. A lot of you will know more about it than I will. So, anyway, number one, neurodevelopmental disorders like autism, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, intellectual disability, communication disorders, which like stuttering. Yeah. Did you know that that is actually a mental illness? Specific learning disorders, development coordination disorder, stereotypic movement disorder, tic disorders like Tourette's, schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorders. You have schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, schizophreniform disorder. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering some of these. Delusional disorder, brief psychotic disorder, catatonia, substance medication induced psychotic disorder, bipolar related disorders, bipolar disorder, or bipolar 1 disorder, sorry, bipolar 2 disorder, cyclomatic or cyclomatic disorder, substance medication induced bipolar disorder. Isn't it interesting, honestly, how substance and medication can also cause like, different disorders too. So something that somebody's possibly taking for good, but also could be illegal substances causes this kind of stuff, which is really scary to me. Oops. Okay. Depressive disorders, major depressive disorder, persistent depressive disorder, disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, depressive disorder due to another medical condition, anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorders. That's what I have. I have panic attacks. They are horrible. If any of you suffer from those, it's like having a heart attack, but your heart's not really stopping or whatever it is. It hurts. It absolutely hurts. And you are just so out of control. Agoraphobia, social anxiety. Is agoraphobia where you don't want to leave your house? Yeah. That's what Paula's got. Paula Dean, she's in treatment for it. But she has agoraphobia. So social anxiety disorder, which is a social phobia. I have this too. Believe it or not, here I am, a YouTube creator, and I have social anxiety disorder. Specific phobias like fear of spiders, heights, there's a ton of those, but I didn't list them all. Separation anxiety disorder, that can also um, be a fear of being deserted, being left, that kind of thing. Selective mutism, yeah, they can mutate together, actually. Obsessive compulsive and related disorders. So, obsessive compulsive disorder, body dysphoric order or disorder. I have that one too. See, I am a hot mess, y'all. Yeah, abandonment. I couldn't think of the word abandonment, but yeah, that has a lot. The separation, abandonment, all those kind of go hand in hand. Um, okay, hoarding disorder, trichotillomania, it's the hair pulling. It can also be where they eat their hair, you know. Yeah. Excoriation, which is when they pick their skin or pick at scabs, those kind of things. And we're not talking about like meth induced. I'm talking about some people that are completely healthy just do it. You know, it's like a it's odd, but it's a I had a friend that did that and she found it soothing. Like if she was stressed out, she would pick at little scabs and stuff. Of course, they just got worse, but she would do it and we were just always just slapping her hands. Trauma stressor related disorders, post traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD, active or acute, I'm sorry, acute stress disorder, adjustment disorders, reactive attachment disorders, disinhibited social engagement disorder. That's probably me. I think I'm just more socially anxious. I don't think that I actually, you know, but yeah, it was headed there. It was headed to where I just absolutely disengage from any kind of social interaction at all back when I had the newspaper. So we have number 12 is sleep wake disorders. We have insomnia, hyper somnolence. I can't talk, y'all. Narcolepsy. That one's a scary one, right? I remember when Reese said that Jeff had that and that he would fall asleep while driving. And I was just like I've never actually known somebody that did it. Or not when driving. I like knew of people that, they couldn't just sit still for more than a couple minutes without falling asleep. But I never knew anybody that did it while driving. I know it happens, but I never actually knew of anyone. But yeah, and he would still drive all over the place. And I was just like, how can you get in a car with him or let your son, I almost said his name, in a car with him. But, she said that he was absolutely like vehemently opposed to not driving, that he would do all kinds of stuff to try to stay awake, which is good, I guess, but I don't know. Taking medication. Okay, obstructive sleep apnea. Mark's got that, and I'm wanting to get tested for it. Circadian rhythm sleep wake disorders, nightmare disorders, REM sleep behavior disorders, restless leg syndrome. See, who knew, right? That my restless legs is actually a mental illness. We think of it as, like the being a psychopath and that kind of stuff. But look at all these things. These, that's why we've got to stop the myth and of that mental illness is this scary, scary thing, and we got to get rid of the stereotypes and all that. It's got to stop. So, sexual dysfunctions, erectile disorder, female sexual interest or arousal disorder, female orgasmic disorder, premature or early ejaculation, genitopelvic pain, penetration disorder. Those all sound horrible. Bless anybody's heart that's got those. And I know some of you probably do, and you don't have to admit to it. I'm just saying. I'm sure we know people that do. Gender dysphoria in children, gender dysphoria in adolescents and adults. Number 15 is disruptive impulse control and conduct disorders, oppositional defiant disorder, conduct disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, antisocial personality disorder, also listed under personality disorders, kleptomania, pyromania. Yeah, got a couple more. Well, if we can get Susie's fingers to work. substance related and addictive disorders, alcohol use disorder, cannabis use disorder, stimulant use disorder like cocaine, meth, any of those kind of things, opioid use disorder, sedative, hypnotic, or I can't say that word. I can't. And analytic use disorder, hallucin hallucinogen use disorder, tobacco use disorder, and gambling use disorder. Did you know that tobacco use is a mental illness? Because it's in your head, right? You're addicted to the tobacco, so that's I don't mean it's all in your head. That's not what I mean, but it is with your brain, and so therefore it is a mental illness. Okay. Number 17, neurocognitive disorders, delirium, major neurocognitive disorder, which was also dementia. See, we always, in improving things, we have to go from saying dementia to saying major neurocognitive disorder. I leave it at dementia, you know. Mild neurocognitive disorder, sorry, due to Alzheimer's disease, due to Parkinson's disease, and due to traumatic brain injury. So one of those is what Tommy says he has, or Brett, right? He has something in that line due to injury. No. Personality disorders. Paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, schizotypical personality disorder. Cluster B is dramatic and erratic. It's antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. And cluster C is anxious or fearful, avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, but not OCD. Paraphilic disorders, voyeuristic disorder, exhibitionistic disorder, voyeuristic disorder, sexual masochism disorder, sexual sadism disorder, I cannot talk, pedophilic disorder, fetishistic disorder, and transvestic disorder. And we've got one more slide. This would just be other disorders, unspecific mental disorders, other specified mental disorders, cultural concept of distress, yeah, and psychosocial or environmental problems. So I guess when they can't think of anything else, they just say other disorders, okay? Which is probably just because they haven't quite figured out where to put things at this point, which is also sad. So did any of you see any that you were just like surprised is listed as a mental illness? Did anything surprise you? Do you want to, if you want to talk about any of them or anything, just, put it in the chat for sure. And then I'm going to go I'm taking these off the screen as I'm talking. But I'm going to go grab these other deals, and then I'm going to talk to the chat. This is going to be a fairly quick one tonight. Okay, got all those off. Let's see here. I'm going to make sure I've got that I've shown everything I meant to show. Yeah, showed all those. Okay. Hold on, there's just a few of these that I want. That's not what it is. Did I hit the right one? Yeah, that's not the one I wanted. Hold on. Sorry. Wouldn't be a Susie show, right? If I didn't get the wrong slide. Okay, so we need... I even made these with green around them so that I would maybe, see them easier, and still messed up. this one, and I think there's just one more. Yeah. All right. Now, these are what I'm actually going to go ahead and put in our community posts later too, but I wanted to put them on here, and that way you can just screenshot them if you want to, or if not, I will after the live be going and putting those on our community posts, so they'll be there too. So let's see here. This is crisis hotlines. See, there are several, and this is one of 4 pages of different places that you can go for help. So, anyway, crisis hotlines. There's the 988 suicide and crisis lifeline. You just have to call or text 988 to get somebody on the phone that will talk to you and will help you as much as they possibly can. There's these finding help sites that you can go to on the computer or your phone, just all this .coms and .orgs. There's more. Here's some for LGBTQ plus for their support, tools that help. There's different tools there. And it's just important to remember that you are not alone, you are not broken, and you are loved, and you absolutely deserve support. I agree. I agree, Misha. 988 is the best place, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. They are a great place. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add this one. And this is some mental health resources. If you're struggling, you're not alone. So there's a whole 24-hour 7 support group. And you notice again on the top of the list is the 988 suicide line. And then therapy and counseling access. These are all places that you can get a hold of either by phone or on your computer and get some help. Get somebody that will pay attention. You are not alone, and you are so worth it. That's just the most important thing that you can take away from this. And these are self-help and daily support. There's apps that help, like Insight Timer, Mood Mission, Sanvello, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Books that help. There's community support and education. So if you don't have to wait until it's unbearable to reach out. You need to do it now. Help is available. Helping is real. Or healing is real. Sorry, and hope is still yours. Absolutely. It is sadly only too late after a decision that you can't take back is made, and so we need to get help before that. Oh, you're saying it's not? Oh. Yeah, I've had great help with the or not help for myself, but just with sending people there that have said that they've really gotten a lot of help. So we'll talk about it for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of places. Okay, therapy and counseling, Open Path Collective, Psychology Today, Therapist Finder. Yeah, they will help you find a therapist and work with your insurance, the specialties. You can pick the gender, the whole bit. That's a great one here. This is how I actually found my therapist. So, therapy for Black girls or for Black men, inclusive therapist. So that would be for anybody in the LGBTQ plus community. Medication and psychic help. Find a pharmacist or not a pharmacist, a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is who will give you the medication, but a lot of times you can literally just go like to your therapist and they will set you up. That's a good place to start is to go to a therapist and then they can move you up the ladder. So, I know somebody that did that. She went for therapy and then, they talked about it and decided that she needed some medication and that's what they did. So, you might try Good RX. They do have discounts on mental health medications and to help with getting medication when you don't have insurance. So that's always a good place to look to when you're looking into stuff because medicine can be so expensive. Even with insurance, it can be expensive. So anyway, I will be putting all of those in our community posts later, so just watch for those. And now I'm just clearing off some of these, and I'm going to go check in with our chat. I saw that Mischief had starred, wow, like 41 comments. So let me dab the nose a little here, guys. The allergies are intense this year. Okay, I already answered that one and that one. I knew I forgot to check some off. Aw. MD explains it's really wonderful to see real happy and genuine emotion in a human nowadays. Internet now is filled with AI trash. Sorry for the word. No, it is. You're right. It can be. And yeah, I enjoy people. I want to be around people, not AI stuff. Lori says I was such a true believer until it got all wonky, and then I was done with RR and yeah, with Reese and Tommy and Brett. Yeah, it got crazy. It really did. Mischief says, same here. I was done with the boat when he said that he hated us, and I never did like Reese. Yeah. Mayor says, Lori, I registered BM as bowel movement instead of Brett Miller. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a minute. Yeah. Very funny, Mischief. And the difference would be, oh, you're funny. Lori says, first time I referred to him by initials, but I didn't think anybody'd mind. I watched a bit of an interview with him and somebody else, and I could not, and it and got drawn in by him, or could have got drawn in, yeah, but didn't. You're lucky. I'm not sorry that my reading is just like all over the place tonight. Vernon says, CCHR says that there isn't a blood test for mental illness. True, but you know, even therapists need therapy. I agree. And do you know, honestly, that my therapist goes to therapy? She mentioned it one time that, something about, well, my therapist said blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, you go to therapy too? That's so cool. Really was cool. I was impressed. Can you imagine dealing with all of our issues? I imagine they really do need therapy by the end of, they probably go daily. Mm. Yeah, FTG to cancer and mental illness. Absolutely. Yeah, whatever happened to Calhoun, Spanky, Michael? Yeah. Yeah. Is it okay to ask? I forgot. I don't know what happened to him. I he was doing the lifeboat, and then I guess I don't watch it anymore. So, but I guess he's not now, and he didn't go to Ecuador with his dad and uncle. Mischief says, Lori, it's scary how believable he is, even knowing what we know now. Absolutely. We were talking about this just yesterday, I think, that if you're listening to him, even though we absolutely know, we can see watching him how he can still draw people in because he seems so sure of what he's saying. So, Mayor says, I was so good at masking my depression, nobody knew how bad it was. See? I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. You didn't know there was more than one schizo disorder. Yeah, there's like a lot, right? I used to put salt in my hair and play with the texture feel of it. Really? Hmm. See, I don't think I'd like that because I'm really weird about textures. I can't stand it. Like I don't know. Like anything that's like a gritty type texture drives me nuts. I don't like it. So just a quiet, peaceful dance, as my little cousin told me that when she was 13 years old, that she was going to be part of the 27 club. I didn't know what that was. Years later, I found out what it was. Ooh, there's CPTSD, depression, anxiety disorder, and a couple of sleep disorders. I will count. I can. I can tell you right now, you definitely have some sleep disorders, girl. So do I. Yeah. Let me tell you, agoraphobia. I can't talk. Almost a whole lot of other letters after my name, but the ones that matter most, me, me. And when they go untreated or acknowledged, you end up bawling for no reason when doing a live. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or he says, guess I'm doing number six, skin picky stuff. See? It's very, very, I was really bad about it for a while. Whenever I would have um, scars from all my surgeries, and they would heal, and they would scab up and everything, and they would itch, and I would sit there and scratch at them, and I would think it was okay because, I mean, if the scab just falls off, right, I'm not sitting there tearing it off. But when you're picking and pick, this is down here, but you can't see if I do it down here. So, if you're just sitting there like this constantly, isn't that the same thing? And so my doctor was just like, stop. Mm. Just a quiet, peaceful dance, as unfortunately she did kill herself 11 days before her 28th birthday. Yeah. Around here, we had it was like it wasn't the same. It was like a 24 club, but it wasn't because they would, you know, kill themselves before they were 28 or when they were 27. This was a lot of young people around here would die when they were 24. My sister was one of them. A dear family friend of ours was another family friend's daughter was another member down the road, their son was another. I think there's a grand total of around 11 in this teeny tiny little community that they all died when they were 24. So it's something when those numbers, you know, now none of them unalived themselves. None of them, committed suicide. This was all sickness or an accident, like a car accident or something like that. It was just the same. The day she did it, she got 2 DUIs in one day. I think the whole family failed her. Oh, yeah, Misha, our conditions don't define us. Thank you, Mischief. Yeah. He says I struggle with that. I pick at my slivers and things. Yeah. Mary says narcolepsy and cataplexy can be seriously deadly. Yeah, they can. Misha says that's why I say ME. I matter mostest. Not those letters. I am all Misha. The rest just make life more interesting at times. Absolutely. We love you, girl. Yeah. Mischief says depression, anxiety, ADHD, PTSD. Yeah. Yeah, I have ADHD too. We're a mess, aren't we? Our mods are, me and the mods, we're quite a group. Yeah. Misha telling Mischief, out of all of those, you are what I love. We do love our Mischief. She's wonderful. Yeah, I know. I wondered that too, Lori. I'm wondering if being overweight is a mental illness. I mean, it could potentially fall into eating disorders, which are a mental illness. So I don't think they listed those on there. So it's probably some that aren't haven't made they're not on the list yet. Yeah, absolutely. The reasons probably are. Absolutely. So is borderline personality disorder someone who doesn't have a personality? I know, right? I don't really understand that other than I I hear it talked about a lot. We need to look that up. I should pick some of these and go like a deep dive into certain ones. The origin of histrionic personality disorder can be traced back to ancient concept of hysteria, which were initially associated with women and believed to be caused by disturbances in the uterus. Yeah, like women used to get marked as hysterical. They were had hysteria. A lot of times just for like premenstrual issues or even for orgasms and stuff. I don't know, it was crazy. Kind of crazy. What women used to be known for. Vernon says, I found out that my friend developed schizophrenia due to his early childhood abuse. He passed away when he was 25. Oh my goodness, that's so young. My sister was 25. Now, hers wasn't a mental illness. What is up with that? Okay. Why is it not? Oh, okay. Duh. Sorry. My fingers and me are not getting along here. Uh, Doug says, I'm cleaning house and listening to Susie. Well, thank you. Mary says, I have a luxury of coming from a family that doesn't consider mental illness as some big secret. That actually is good. Okay. Aw, Kate, thank you. Thanks for covering this topic, Susie. I've been really trying to pick some different topics. This is important stuff. I agree. There's strong evidence that many mental health disorders have a genetic component. Yeah, I've heard that too. Awaken says, it used to be great, just angry with the recent advents. Not trying to be argumentative, though. I understand that. Yeah. I haven't dealt with them recently. Man, my eyes are watering. I'm not crying, I promise. My eyes are just watering. But I have dealt with them in the past, but not so much recently. The last I heard they were great, but you never know, right? Good RX is amazing. It is. I had one medication one time that I was supposed to take, and there was just no way. It was it was actually when I think it was my second. I've had 3 breast cancer diagnoses. I think it was the second time. And the one medication that they wanted me to take that was not chemo, this was just something else they wanted me to take, was $3,500 a month. And I said, no, I mean, I can't. There's no way. And they hooked me up with GoodRx, and I'm trying to think. I can't remember if I paid $2 or $5. It was amazing. Yeah, don't get me started on big pharma. I agree, Mischief. Yeah, really. I wouldn't trust a therapist if they didn't go to a therapist. I agree. I really do. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Hello, Susie and all. Love from Culver City, California. I have high functioning autism and ADHD, SPD, sensory processing disorder, OCD, depressive anxiety, stress, and a learning disability. Well, you still do great, Eric. You are amazing. You are somebody to be reckoned with. That is for sure. So it's always good to have you here. Oh, I've been dealing with leg and back pain, and I'm on meds for it to help. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm really glad. I hope they really do help you. So, guys, that's what we've got for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and go. It sounds like Mark has got finished in the pool. He's back out and around, and we're going to have some dinner and just relax. I have tomorrow's live almost all ready because I'm hoping to, if it doesn't rain tomorrow, I'm hoping to get some pool time in tomorrow. I haven't been in over a week, so anyway. Hey, John, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I was going to tell you something, John, and I forgot what it was. If I remember, I will email you later. But anyway, whoops. Make sure I didn't turn that off. Yeah. I'm going to go, and I will see you all here tomorrow at 6:30. So my time, Central Time. So adjust for that. And see you tomorrow. It's a really good show. I have got some really good stuff to put in on Michaela's passing. So anyway, yeah, I'll email you. Yeah, mic drop, more like mic slap, right? Much love to all of you. I love you guys. I'm gonna talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.